Welcome to a brand new Pleasantview. I have played The Sims 2 ever since it came out, but I haven't played much with the premates at all, so I wanted to start playing Pleasantview for the first time in about 20 years. But before I get into the gameplay, I want to renovate all of these lots in the hood, all of them. And I'm thinking, where should we start? Where should we begin? There are so many choices to pick from, but I believe I'll start right here at the Lothario household. Here we are with Don. He's already looking pretty good because I have some default replacements on. I think he's okay and we won't have to do much of a makeover on him, but we'll be working on this mostly, his condo. I want to upgrade this a little bit while still keeping it mostly max matchy and gameplay friendly most of all. So less clutter and more functionality. I want to keep the overall look of the house, just modernize it a little bit. And while you're watching me dismantle everything that Dawn owns, I want to chat a bit about my plans with the series. As I said, I haven't played with the premates since the game's release. I've always been the kind of player who creates my own hood with brand new families and I create their stories, mysteries, and drama. So I haven't seen the second generation of pretty much any premade hood in my game. But before I start playing, I want to renovate all of these lots because, Pleasantview was released like 20 years ago. It's pretty old and all of the lots are basically just base game objects, and so many expansion packs came out after that. So I'm going to go through every single lot, give the Sims and the houses a bit of a makeover with gameplay in mind, and then I'll start playing. And I'm actually thinking of making this a mega hood or uber hood where Pleasantview is my main hood and I add all the other pre-made towns as sub-hoods to Pleasantview. This way I want to have a huge mix of all these pre-made Sims we all know and love, and I want to create some unconventional stories because we've all seen the same Pleasantview or Strange Town couples 1,000 times by now. Literally, who cares? Nobody cares if Nina and Dawn have 50 babies because they can't stop woohooing with each other. That's boring. Everyone has done it. Moving on. I want to see weird couples. I want to see who from Veronaville is gonna end up with someone from Belladonna Cove or something like that. I just want to see the craziness. And I'm doing this. And this is what I have in mind with this series. But yes, I want to start with renovating the lots because, to this day, Maxis, E-Axis, they're not the best at creating beautiful looking functional lots. So I want to create something of my own that I'm gonna enjoy looking at and playing with. For Dawn's house, I had the idea to make it look like a little bit of an industrial style kind of house, and that's why I'm going with these huge windows. I'm doing some support beams, as you can tell. And this little alcove in the end I make next to the kitchen, that I turn into a bathroom, which I forgot to furnish on camera, but don't worry, I actually do that in the end. I made a few mistakes and forgot a few things here and there, such as the door to the second floor patio. You'll notice I forget to put that in place, or the bin I place in the kitchen at some point you're gonna see a little further on in the video. That ends up being inaccessible, but don't worry, I have fixed those off camera when I play tested everything with Dawn, so it's all nice and functional and ready to play with. I was struggling a bit with a couple of things in this house, such as finding the right doors to place and finding the right windows and flooring and furniture, so I've cut off a lot of things with me fidgeting and trying and testing random things. You don't need to see me trying and testing 50,000 outdoor lights next to the door, only for me to end up picking one that I'm not even satisfied with. I do have a ton of custom content in the game, but as always, there is no such thing as enough custom content. You can always have 1,000 more things in your game. And yes, my computer is not very happy with the fact that I'm loading like 10 gigs of custom content or more. I am afraid to look at this point, but it's what we're working with and I'm very happy with it. A lot of people who have started playing the game since The Sims 3 or The Sims 4 are they don't want to play The Sims 2 because apparently it doesn't look good, but to me, the aesthetics of the game really hold up, and with a lot of custom content and things such as Reshade, which I don't have installed because I just don't mind the natural, normal look of the game, but you can really, really make some gorgeous looking Sims, gorgeous looking lots, and just an incredible environment and beautiful neighborhoods. This is probably my favorite part of The Sims 2, the fact that you can just customize it so much. You can just do whatever you want. Really, you can install anything. You can have it completely max as matchy. You can go for crazy alpha, realistic looking CC, or you could do like medieval, fantasy, whatever you want. Like really, there are so many things. And that's honestly kind of a bonus, the fact that the game is so old, because you've had like 20 years for amazing people to create custom content. So you have so much to choose from when you get started. Moving on, as you can see, I'm picking the tiles and the backdrop for the kitchen, and I went with brick because, again, we're going with this industrial aesthetic, and I thought I'm gonna put these mirrors as a backdrop to Don's counters. Now, you would say, oh my god, whenever he cooks, those are gonna get so dirty. But listen, Don, I looked at his interests before I started furnishing the house. I thought that that's like, I wanna see what Don is into. And he wasn't really a big foodie. So I thought like, he's gonna be okay with having a mirror next to his counters because he's not gonna cook. He's gonna eat takeaway. Although he's also like a fitness junkie, like he's a health loving sim, so perhaps he won't eat too much takeaway. But I don't know. He's sloppy. He might feel lazy about it. He might not want to cook. I didn't take a look at his skill points. I don't know if he has cooking skill points. But yeah, you just noticed I put two windows in the back there instead of putting a door, yes, I go and fix that later. Also, this part you're seeing right now, don't worry about it. This entire thing, I remove it. I thought like I want to put the stereo and the jacuzzi underneath something because I thought like this was built in the base game and we didn't have weather, but seasons came after that and it was gonna rain up there, and it's like if it rains on a stereo, it's not gonna work anymore. That's not how The Sims works, but in my head, it's kind of how reality works. However, I do fix that later on. I go back to just how it originally looked like because I just didn't like it. I was like, what am I gonna put up top? Like, what is he gonna have? And I didn't really want to cheat and give him a ton of money. I did cheat a little bit. I gave him a couple of thousand simoleons more, but that's about it. As you can see right now, I am changing the counters because I realized that the counters I initially picked, they couldn't have, like they had a pre-built sink that I didn't really like for his house. I like these counters a lot, but I didn't like them for his house in particular. So I do actually end up changing these and I go for a different kind of counter. But yeah, that top part of the house, I get rid of that. I get rid of it completely. I didn't want to give him a ton of money. I didn't want to give him like, ideally he would have an amazing party house, but he can't afford it right now. I actually, as you noticed earlier on, I did put a driveway next to his house, but he couldn't afford a car. So he's gonna be walking. He's gonna be walking until he works and earns some money to be able to afford that car. Now, moving on to the living room, I didn't really know what to do much with the living room, to be honest, other than just a couch and a TV, because it's such an awkward shape as well. It's like right next to this huge diagonal wall that's the entrance. And honestly, if I was like, if I didn't want to retain like the normal ish, the typical look of the house, I would have entirely changed this entryway. I just don't like how it has this huge diagonal wall that just goes into this awkward space. But at least I tried to create some elongation with this huge corridor sort of walkway that goes straight to the staircase to the second floor and the door to the backyard, which it kind of acts like a window as well. It lets in some light, so I think it's looking pretty okay. But yeah, I tried so many things with this living room. As you can see, I'm trying to find a carpet that I like, and I don't end up liking any of these carpets, I don't think. I'm not even sure if I come back later to put another carpet, but yeah. I just tried so many things and I didn't really end up liking anything 100%, but it's functional, it's gonna work for him. He can scale up, okay? He can get rich and get a nice house if he wants to work, if he's not feeling too lazy. bathroom is relatively small. I actually made it smaller than what it initially was because I just felt, again, it had a diagonal wall that's not really well utilized. That's not a really well utilized space in The Sims 2. I mean, you can make it work, but I felt like it was taking away from the living space in this house, and there wasn't much living space to begin with for the kind of thing that I would want to do. So I make this slightly smaller bathroom. I give him this shower alcove, if I could call it that. I don't know. A sink and a toilet, nothing special. I'm maintaining throughout the house this sort of minimal aesthetic with black, whites, and reds. I know it's incredibly stereotypical, but Don already had like this kind of going on for him, and I was like, maybe that's what he really likes. And he definitely looks like the kind of guy that would just wear a red shirt all the time, which is just so, there's just something so obnoxious about that. I can't put a finger on it, but there is. And he really has he has that energy. He has big red shirt energy. So yeah, he has the red thing going on everywhere. When we get to the bedroom in a minute, you'll see what I mean. Okay, here's the red bedroom that I'm talking about. And I wanted to offset the redness a little bit, like the red, black, white aesthetic a little bit. So I gave him a green bedspread. I gave him green sheets and pillows. These are purely decorative. When your Sims lay in them, they kind of clip through in an awkward way, but it's fine. I was trying to put those neon hearts above his bed, but I was like, that's a little bit too, it's lover boy. It's giving lover boy, but it's like not. It's a bit too cute. It's a bit too cute for him. I feel like he would try to have a macho aesthetic. So I was like, maybe I'll leave that for Nina's room. Like, spoiler alert, maybe Nina has that in her room. You'll have to see the Caliente makeover when that comes out. But yeah, I did get rid of all the other paintings he had of random women, but I did keep Bella squared because I feel like that kind of matches the mystery of Bella, who apparently was last seen gazing through a telescope on the very rooftop of this condo. Again, this bedroom is really small. Ideally, I would like to have more space up here to put a bathroom and a separate closet or a dressing room for him, but it's small. And again, as I said, I was trying to retain the original look of the house as much as I can while making it a little bit more, different. So I didn't touch it way too much. And here it is, Don Lothario's renovated condo. He's going to hire a maid to clean up the mess he left behind. And invite the Caliente sisters for a visit after that. I hope you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you soon with another Sims 2 renovation. Bye!